gets on well with him.
Be the final one to come forward for this sixth race. Here's Simon.
The Trust a Trader Handicap over 1.5 miles, a furlong, and they're away. And came out pretty level pegging on the wide outside. Flight Plan just pushed along, often makes the running. Flight Plan got to try and get across if he's going to lead today. He's caught 2, 3, 4, 5 wide as they race up the hill. Mirsky going on the inside, the market leader. Now Flight Plan getting nearer, followed by Tote Tempting in third, Alpha Crucis in fourth in the green jacket. They're followed by Mr. Professor and EBT's Guard next to the running rail in the blue and red colours. Then Julia Augusta, Mr. Baloo, Tribal Rhythm and Bo Pedro. Now Flight Plan has assumed command as they begin the run downhill. Flight Plan by a length to Mirsky, who is moved off the rail, followed then by Alpha Crucis and Tote Tempting. EBT's Guard the inside of Mr. Professor. Back in the field to Mr. Baloo and Julia Augusta. Tribal Rhythm is second last, and lastly Bo Pedro. So heading now to the home straight, coming out of Tatnam Corner. Flight Plan leads the way under his big weight here, 9 stone 12. Mirsky is close in second. Alpha Crucis, Tote Tempting, last year's winner in the orange with the blue cap, Rob Hornby. They're followed by EBT's Guard, Mr. Professor on the outside, the violet jacket, wider still, Julia Augusta. They're chased by Bo Pedro, making a bit of ground, but Mirsky took over there. Mirsky goes on, quickens from in second place, Alpha Crucis. Then Mr. Professor, EBT Guard is staying on. Julia Augusta with an effort down the outside. Mirsky past the furlong marker with a 2.5 length lead over Alpha Crucis, and then Julia Augusta. And the market got this right because Mirsky is coming away in good style. Mirsky wins from the second, Alpha Crucis. It's tight third, EBT's Guard on the far side of Julia Augusta.
That is a pretty comfortable success in the end in our sixth race today for Mirsky. Oisin Murphy for David O'Mara. 9-4 favourite, this horse has returned. Beats into second place Alpha Crucis, who has run well again for Jason Watson and Gary and Josh Moore. And it appears as though the winner's stable companion, Julia Augusta, has run another sound race at Epsom, depriving EBT's Guard of third place. But Mirsky it is that has won, and won tidily.
And a bit like our earlier handicap winner, always in that stalking position, never far away from the pace, and able to pounce, having travelled well and always looked in control, really. Alpha Crucis, maybe the ground wasn't quite slow enough, but equally he's run well. He's just not as well handicapped as the winner. He just had to wait for Mirsky to make his challenge before Jason Watson could switch out for a clear run, but he was never getting there, and the winner was comfortably the best handicapped of them on the day.
Take it from the start again and just keep your eyes out wide. And Flight Plan, who is widest of all, rider really makes a bold bid to get out and get over, and does so.
He does from stall 11. In contrast, Mirsky from stall 1 was always comfortable and was actually happy to make the running until Sam James came across and eventually used up enough energy up against the hill to get to the front, but it paid in the last 2 furlongs where Flight Plan really gave way with quite a tame effort. But I think Oisin was happy to allow him across to take the lead. Tote Tempting sat prominent as well in the green colours. Alpha Crucis, who eventually finishes second, is sat fourth. There's plenty of them in behind. Bo Pedro finding it a little bit hot, but I didn't think they went too fast up front, Chris. Oisin was always well within his comfort zone. You can see him there with a double handful on the winner.
Yeah, I think they've gone a sensible pace, haven't they? Oisin's in that stalking position, a little bit like what we were saying about Oisin Orr earlier on. Sort of sits there and controls the race from that position, and his horse was settled in a nice rhythm, and there was no need to be in a rush. Just ride the race to suit yourself. You can see here Jason Watson's just trying to find a way. He's happy enough and knows that he wants to follow Mirsky, and he's just waiting for that. And he could have done without Tote Tempting just coming past him at that point, because that just meant he maybe had to delay to make his run slightly. Initially looks to go up the inside, realises that Mirsky's going to drift that way and has to switch back out, but he just didn't have quite the speed and enough horse under him to take the gaps as they were presenting themselves, did he? But on slower surfaces, he's going to be winning a handicap like this. If they get a wet Goodwood somewhere on the line, there'll be a race for him once again, I'm sure.
Julia Augusta, a sound race in third. Second consecutive year she's run well here at Epsom. Last year it was in a Group 3. Today it's in a handicap.
But